Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite sis, Terry here. Um, so today I just want to address something, and as you've seen, oops, I thought another chair there. And I moved. So anyway, I just want to address something real quick. I'm on my way out. I'm going to meet a friend of mine, Joy. And she also has a YouTube channel, and her YouTube channel is called Adventures of Joy. And yeah, the name should say it itself. She takes us on these adventures, her trips, holiday trips. It's a very nice, interesting channel to follow. Not only that I know her, but it really is. So yeah, check her out. I'm meeting her, so yeah, I need to be real quick about this. I want to address the Zodwa waBantu situation, and I was watching another channel. It's called Danta's Diary, and it's a transgender woman who expresses her feelings on the situation and why she's saying that she's canceling Zodwa waBantu. And after hearing, because I don't have a TV, right, and I haven't had a TV for the past year, and I decided to, yeah, I don't want a TV. I just want to concentrate on myself and my things that I'm doing, and TV becomes such a distraction, especially when you live alone. You're always watching TV, you know, trying to fill the time in the house with noise. So I was like, okay, I'm not having a TV, so I don't really get to see things real time. By real time, I mean when they actually play and everybody's tuned in to watch those things. I'm not tuned in. I only see or hear about them on social media real time, you know, when people post their reactions and stuff like that. And yeah, that's where I'm able to gauge and see what was happening or what played on TV that people are reacting to. And so I saw the whole sort of Bantu that the LGBTQI community is canceling her, and I was like, wait a minute, why are we canceling her? Let me know, let me find out, you know, because I'm left behind here. And so I went and I looked for the information for the clip. I found the clip. I saw it on another channel as well. Somebody else's. I watch a lot of YouTube, by the way. I recently have been just consuming other people's content and channels. Yeah, I don't know. I've just been consuming, right? So anyway, I see it on, and I'm just gathering different perspectives on the issue before I share my own. And as you've seen with the title of this video, is that why I am not canceling Zodwa waBantu. And so yeah, let me just get into that. So Zodwa waBantu, to paraphrase, and I'm sure you've seen it, you can find it online. She says something along the lines of Amakeyasile, and they think that they have vaginas and they don't have vaginas. You guys have penises, and yeah, we accommodate you so that you can put on makeup. And when we talk about men, you also, you also can comment, you know. So yeah, we accommodate you along those lines. I'm paraphrasing here. And so basically, yeah, that's what she said. And then people were outraged online. Online, I mean Twitter, that is where a lot of real-time reaction happens on Twitter. And people were like, cancel her show, cancel her, like cancel. And then, first of all, this cancel phenomenon is a Twitter thing, right? Where people cancel people for doing or saying things, and they're like, we're canceling so and so has been cancelled. It's generally really a Twitter thing. If you're gonna bring it, if you're not in the Twitter sphere and outside of Twitter, canceling basically means cutting people off, you know. It basically means, it's like when you don't want anybody that brings bad vibes or just talks nonsense and you're not about that and you don't want that around you and you're like, you know what, I'm no longer speaking to so and so, I don't want so and so in my space, I don't want so and so in my life. That's what canceling pretty much is, right? So yeah, for example, R. Kelly was cancelled for obvious reasons. Kodak Black was cancelled for obvious reasons, and I also agree and believe that he said some really vile things about Young Ma, who is a lesbian rapper. He said that she must come to him. He publicly posted a video sexually harassing her and telling her that he must come to her. She must come to him for some dick. And I was like, that's so disgusting. And that is what a lot of straight men say to lesbian women. And he had the nerve to go on a platform where he has thousands and millions of followers to put out such and spew such nonsense. So, yeah, he's been trash. And he said something else about Lauren London when, what's this? When Nipsey Hussle passed away and there was outrage about that and people were saying, yeah, because Lauren London is attached to a respected man, we can have this outrage when he was sexually harassing Young Ma. Not a lot of people came out to stand up for her and call him out. But anyway, I'm just generally giving you what online canceling is. So for me, I don't 100% agree with that type of stance of canceling people, and especially in Zodwa waBantu's case, right, where she said what she said, and I personally do not believe she was being homophobic. We have to be really honest with ourselves. A lot of people talk like that. A lot of people say ignorant things and hurtful things like that. A lot of people that we know as a community that are close to us, friends, neighbors, relatives, people on the street, whatever, a lot of people say things to us that we're like, okay, that doesn't sound okay, or whatever the case is. And in this case, this is one instance where Uzodwa said something that, didn't sit right or didn't come out all right. Not necessarily homophobic for me, and it could feed in, yes, into homophobia. Her statement could feed into homophobia, and it can be interpreted in a lot of different ways, right? But what I would say and where I am coming from is that instead of canceling a person like Zodwa waBantu and saying, we're canceling you, we no longer want to see you, you don't mean anything to us, we don't want to talk to you, this is a point where, especially in my own personal life, more than keep quiet and say I'm canceling, I'm not talking to people, I engaged the people to say, but do you hear this sound wrong? Like a colleague of mine who was saying, oh, yeah, Zodwa is cancelled. She said whatever, And she was like, yeah, she must be cancelled. And I'm like, wait a minute, you say very troubling, very problematic things as well that I've called you out for. And I haven't cancelled you. I'm constantly engaging you in the things you say because that's just you. She's older than me, way much older, almost, my mother's age. And I'm like, you say troubling things and we have an open discussion about the things you say to say, no, don't say that, you can't say that to me, that's not right. And I'm able to engage with you and you're able to go back and think and say, okay, I was wrong and whatever. So I didn't cancel you, for saying whatever statements you were saying. So more than cancel, for me, it's let's engage, let's talk, let's address the issue to say, a lot of people talk like this. A lot of people say things like this. Does that make that right? No. it's wrong. You shouldn't be talking like that. You shouldn't be saying things like that. Sometimes it's not necessarily you being homophobic, it's just you being ignorant about the situation or about the community or about the people in the community. And so you need to enlighten yourself, realize that you've said something wrong, and people must come to you and say, you've said something wrong. And you're like, okay, let me step back. Let me see what I said. Okay, come back and say, oh, my intention wasn't to offend. I wasn't, so I am coming back and I'm sorry or whatever the thing is. What I am waiting for from Zodwa or waBantu is to apologize to those people that she offended. Personally, I am not offended. I wasn't offended by her statement as such. It takes a lot to really offend me. I've been around a while for me to know to be offended by things and statements that people say. So personally, on my personal front, I wasn't offended, and I'm not also judging anybody that was offended. If people were offended by what Zodwa said, she needs to apologize to those people. So one thing I'm looking at for her, and one thing I'm going to judge or hold her to, is her speaking about it, either apologizing or saying, no, I'm not going to apologize, and state the reasons why she's not going to apologize, or state the reasons why she's apologizing. That's the one thing that will taint her for me, because I'm a big supporter of her. I just love her. And also the statement of the community really embraces Zodwa and loves Zodwa. It speaks to, for me, you would say, but the community supports, when I look at the community, we support a lot of women that are quote unquote troublesome in society, right? And when I say troublesome, I use that the term very loosely. By troublesome, I mean women that stand up for themselves, women that embrace themselves, women that are, that are bold and strong and expressive. The community relates to those type of women in the public eye, that are in the public eye. Your likes of Beyonce. Obviously, I was going to talk about her. She has a huge LGBTI following, and she is an ally of the community as well. Nicki Minaj, she has a huge following, and she's an ally as well. Thandi Somazwai, if we're going to bring it locally, she has a huge LGBTI following, and she's an ally as well. Bonang Matebe has a huge LGBTI community, and I think she's an ally as well of the community, And the common thread among those women is the boldness, the ownership of their womanhood, of who they are, which a lot of, by society, I mean, men would deem that a bit, they'd be offended by that type of energy, to say, yeah, she's too much, she's too much of herself. And the community is like, yes, girl, you be you be yourself, you express yourself, we love you, we see you, we support you. You know what I'm saying? So, and I would think Zodwa falls into that type of public figure where people see her as bold, as strong, as expressing, as owning her sexuality, owning her body, owning her womanhood, her personhood, and just, speaking, about herself, speaking about her experiences and why she is the person she is today because of her experiences. So yeah, the support thing is we can trace it across many different women. So anyway, I'm still say I'm not of the opinion that a person should be cancelled. And what I wanted to say was, what I wanted to share was that also another thing to add on to my argument was, Chimamanda the author, Nigerian author Chimamanda Adichie, she said something about trans women, right? And there was a lot of backlash. There was a lot of uproar about her statement, and she was also supposedly cancelled by allies and trans women. And in her statement, paraphrasing again, Chimamanda said, trans women are trans women, and trans women have a different lived experience from women who were born women, who came into the world as women. And yeah, and she was speaking more to the case of trans women who transitioned later in life, who came in as men and presenting their bodies as men, and the bodies presented as men in the world, and then only transitioning into the true selves as trans women. So I think she was speaking to that, and a lot of people were like, yeah, so you're trying to say trans women are not women, and this is the fight that trans women are fighting, to say that trans women are just women, period, full stop. So no either or whatever. And there were people who were like, yeah, you know what, I get what Chimamanda's saying, and then others were like, no, that's wrong. And then when she was asked to say, well, you said this, and there was a lot of uproar, there was a lot of backlash, and you're cancelled, people are cancelling you, and all of that, and what's your take on that? And she says, I don't have a problem with the people having a problem with what I say, right? And I want that. I want people to say, I don't agree with you, so we can engage and talk about why they don't agree with me. Show me a different perspective and nuance to the matter, so that I can hold it, walk away, and change my perspective and my opinion. That's what it is about, right? When we have dialogues, it's for you to influence me in a way that makes me change my point of view, right? So now I don't have a problem. She said, I don't have a problem with you having a problem with what I said and calling me out and saying, okay, I feel you were wrong for saying this, and this is why I feel you were wrong, and for us to engage on that matter. What I have a problem with is when people then start saying, yeah, we're canceling her, we don't want to, when people start silencing people, right? When people start saying people should not be heard, right? People should not say anything further. People should remain silent. She says what that does is that it forces people into silence, and forces people that think differently from us into silence, right? Whereas people should be saying whatever they're saying, and for us to say, okay, you said this, why did you say this? Here's why it's problematic, here's why it's wrong. And she's like, I'm not just saying, people should go around and spew transphobic, homophobic, racist statements, but the fact of the matter is, when a person is racist, can they say it, and then can they show us, and can we unpack that and say, okay, so and so is racist, and they said this, and we're saying, you know what I'm saying? And especially, I think she said the right wing expects people in the public sphere, on the public space, to be perfect, and to say perfect things, and to always be in agreement with everybody else, and to say things that will please everybody else. And she's like, that should not be the case. We should all hold different opinions and engage on those different opinions that we hold, and take it from there. So my worry is the silence, and what does she's like, I'm not even on Twitter, so what does that even mean? Why what does it entail when you say you're canceling a person, and you no longer want to engage with them, because then it holds the rest of us who are in whose opinions are regarded in the public space, it holds us at a very unfair and uncomfortable position, to always want to say perfect things, because we don't want to get cancelled, and we don't know that I don't believe in, that is wrong. Let's unpack things, let's engage, And also, my last thing is, cancelling is fine. Cancelling is necessary for our mental health, for our the pureness of the energy we want to keep, canceling is fine. But what I'm against is canceling every single person for saying something wrong. Not every single person deserves to be cancelled. There are people where we need to engage. There are people where they say things or they do things and we're like, okay, no, I cannot do this. I cannot engage this person. Like, R. Kelly is far gone. He's beyond the he is beyond the sit down and unpack and let's, like, he is gone. Right? He is far gone. We don't need him. We don't need to support him. He is a monster. Let's cancel him. Let's cut him off. Right? But there are then other people where we're like, man, let's sit down, let's talk to this person, let's talk about this person, what this person said. It gives the rest of us an opportunity to speak to it, to say, you see what Zodwa said, this is what a lot of people say, this is how a lot of an opinion or a way of thinking a lot of people hold, and therefore this is what we need to address as people, to say this kind of thinking is not okay, this kind of thinking is problematic, this kind of thinking may not be outright homophobic in itself, but it will feed into the homophobia. So the less we feed into homophobia, the better for everyone else, and the more we engage. And I know a lot of people were like, yeah, it's not our job to teach people, it's not our job to, educate people. I don't know. It's our job to talk. It's our job to talk about the issues that we're not happy with or that we're happy with. It's our job to address issues. We need to now. For me, I am an addresser. Yeah, it's not your job to treat men to not be sexist, to not be to be feminist and all of that. It's not your job, but it's your job to engage. It's your job to talk. It's your job to speak up when something offends you. It's your job to have a dialogue with people, to say, this is why what you're saying is wrong. Not just say, hey, I'm canceling you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that is my opinion on the matter. I have been going on and on, and I need to go. And yeah, guys, that's just my opinion on the matter. Let me know what you think, and yeah, like, comment, and subscribe.